In this video, we are going to see how we can generate creative stories using OpenAI, which is an artificial intelligence and deployment company that helps you in creating human-like content. So let's say that you have got a spreadsheet. Here we have taken the example of a Google Sheet, and every time a story title is added here as a new row, then with the help of OpenAI, you would be able to create a very creative story. And now you will be creating a document in the name of the story, and then finally append the story in that document. In your Google Sheet, you will be updating the cell value with the link of that document. So basically what should happen, every time a new row is added, automatically the link of the document with the story in it should be updated in the same sheet. How can that happen? For this, you will have to integrate the applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here your trigger application would be Google Sheet and your action applications would be OpenAI, Google Docs, Drive and Google Sheet. Now, how can you do this yourself, integrate and automate this entire process? To understand that, let me take you to my screen. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can generate creative stories automatically. So let's say that you have got the spreadsheet, and every time you update the spreadsheet with a story title, example, the importance of friendship. Then as soon as you click on enter, automatically first it is going to create a story with the help of the OpenAI application, and then a document would be created in the name of the story title, and finally the link of that document would be shared with us in this particular sheet, just like this. Now how can you do this yourself automatically? To understand that, let's begin. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply sign in. If you are a new user, then please sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks to explore this application completely. Now I'm going to click on sign in as I'm an existing user here. And here we have reached the all applications page, where I'm going to click on access now for Pabbly Connect now. And here we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. So I'm going to click on this, and a dialog box has appeared which is asking me to name this workflow. So here my objective is to create different stories, to generate stories using OpenAI, which is an artificial intelligence and deployment company. So now I'm going to click on create. And here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, and action here is do this. Basically, action here is the response of our trigger application. Now here, what is the process? So let's say that I have got certain titles, story titles in my Google Sheet. So with the help of OpenAI, I would be able to generate content, basically write stories. And then in the name of the story, I'm going to create a document in Google Docs, and then I'm going to store the link of that document back in the Google Sheet. So here my trigger application would be Google Sheets. Let's click on this. And now the trigger event. So this is the event that will make my workflow start. So this would be new or updated spreadsheet row. So every time a new row is added with a new story title, this workflow will run. So here we have received a webhook URL which is going to act as a bridge for connecting Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to copy this, and now we have to follow the following steps to set up this connection. So here I'm going to take you to the Google Sheet that I have created. So let's name it as story titles. Okay, so I've named it as story titles. This is the name of my spreadsheet. The name of my sheet is sheet 1. Now here I've got two column fields, story title and story document link. So here I have filled in the story title. The name is the importance of freedom. Now to set up the connection between Pabbly Connect and Google Sheets, first we have to go to extensions, and then from here we have to go to add-ons. Let's go to get add-ons. Here we have reached the Google Workspace Marketplace, and here we have to look for Pabbly Connect webhooks. So here it is. You can see that it has already been installed on my system. So make sure that once this is installed, you close this and then you have to refresh the page. This is an extremely crucial step. So once you have refreshed this, we are going to wait for a few seconds, and now I'm going to click on extensions and you can see Pabbly Connect webhooks in the drop down. So here we are going to go to initial setup, and now we can see that it has already selected the sheet name. And going back to Pabbly Connect, this webhook URL that we have received, I'm going to copy this, go back to Google Sheet and paste this over here. Then the trigger column. Now the trigger column is the final data column in which the data is added, and here it would be column A. So I'm going to write column A and click on send test. So as soon as I do that, here we can see that the test data has been sent successfully. Then I'm going to click on submit and the configuration is all set. So I'm now going to close this. Going back to extensions, there is an important step that we have to do. We have to check on this send on event, because if this is not checked, then every time the workflow runs, it would not be able to send the response. So I'm going to click on this, and now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to see if we have received the API response. And yes, we have received. So here we can see the trigger column is A. What is the story title? The importance of freedom. Spreadsheet name is story titles. Spreadsheet ID is this. This is the sheet name, sheet ID and row index. So once we have received this information, what is my objective? That with this story title, I should be able to generate a story. So my next action application would be OpenAI. OpenAI is an extremely interesting artificial intelligence and deployment company that helps in creating human-like content. It can help you in generating content as well as generating images. So here, what would be my action event to generate content? Let's click on connect. And here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the OpenAI account. To set up this connection, we are going to click on add new connection, and here we need a token, which is basically this API key, and we can receive the same by clicking on this hyperlink. But before that, we have to log in to our OpenAI account. So now I'm going to take you to my OpenAI account. Basically, this is the website. And here I'm going to click on this API. This says that build next generation applications with OpenAI's powerful models. So now I'm going to log in here. And here we have reached the dashboard of this application. So here we can see there are certain tutorials and examples. I'm directly going to take you to Playground. And as per the name says, this is an extremely interesting space. Now let me show you a miracle. When I say write a story on a board, and as soon as I click on submit, so here you can see that it has automatically started generating a story of its own, where you can actually select the length of the story that you want. I'm going to throw some light on the different features it has, but it is definitely going to help you a lot. So all the content writers over there, this is definitely a boon for us. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. And here I'm going to click on this hyperlink to receive the API key to set up the connection. And here you can see it is written create new secret key. I'm going to click on this and the API key has been generated. Let's copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. Now I'm going to click on save to set up this connection. So here OpenAI and Pabbly Connect are now connected. Now we need to fill in this information. Basically, we have to map this information. But before we do that, I'm going to take you back to OpenAI to understand the various features that it has. So I'm going to quickly delete this. Now, first of all, the mode. So it has got different modes: complete and insert. Then here you have edit. Then here is the model. So it has got various models, but I'm going to go ahead with TextDaVinci 003 because this is the most capable model in the GPT-3 series. It can perform any task the other GPT-3 models can. It can process up to 4,000 tokens per request. So I'm going to go ahead with this. Now the temperature, basically it controls randomness. So as the temperature approaches 0, the model will become deterministic and repetitive. But as it approaches 1, that it is going to produce random responses. Now the maximum length. So the maximum number of tokens to generate is the maximum length. So you can request up to 2048 to 4000 tokens shared between prompt and completion. What is prompt? I'm going to come back on this. The exact limit varies by model. Now here one token is roughly 4 characters for normal English text. Now the stop sequence. So this is extremely important because as soon as you put this sequence, then automatically the API will stop generating further tokens. So it's like a full stop. So here, let's say the stop sequence is / and hashtag. You can give your own stop sequence. Then we have top P, and then we have frequency penalty. It decreases the model's likelihood to repeat the same line verbatim, and presence penalty increases the model's likelihood to talk about new topics. Now the best of, so it generates multiple completion server side and displays only the best. So let's say that I've selected 3. So it is going to generate 3 stories and it is going to put forward the best one. So once we are done with this, I'm going to click on this view code to understand what is prompt. So here you can see prompt basically is the instruction that we provide. So here it is written, write a tagline for an ice cream shop. So this is the instruction. So this is our prompt. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here we are going to fill in this data. First of all, the models. So I'm going to go ahead with text 76003, then the prompt. So here I'm going to write a story on. Now the topic, I'm going to map the topic. And how do I do that? So it is going to show me the previous step. So I'm going to click on this, and this is the story title. So write a story on the importance of freedom. This is how I want my instruction to be. And then the maximum tokens. So here, let's say that I want 300 tokens. And then the sampling type. So here we have got 2 options, nucleus sampling and temperature sampling. Since I want random data every time, I'm going to go ahead with temperature sampling. Now the sampling value. So the sampling value here can be between 0 to 1. Since I want random data, I'm going to go ahead with 0.7, which is the default value. Then the presence penalty, it can be between -2 to 2, and I'm going to go ahead with the default value, which is 0. Frequency penalty, again I'm going to go ahead with the default value, which is 0. Now the stop sequence. So what was the stop sequence? / and hashtag. And then as I come down here, let's say it is the best of 3, and now I'm going to click on save and send test request. So here, as I take you down, we have received the API response. Let's check that out. So this is the ID object created model, and here is the text. So this is the story that we have received about the story of freedom. Now, isn't that fantabulous? So once we have received this, what is my next objective? My next objective is that I am supposed to create a document in Google Docs under the name of the story title. So I'm going to select my next application as Google Docs. Here that is. And now the action event here would be to create a blank document. So I'm going to click on this and click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Google Docs account. So I'm going to click on add new connection and then sign in with Google. So here we have to select the account. Once selected, it is going to ask us for some additional access. So this is an absolutely secure platform. So I'm going to provide the access by clicking on continue. And here we can see that the authorization has been successful. So once this is done, here we have to provide the document name, basically map the data. How do we do it? Click on this and then go to step 1. And here I'm going to go ahead with the story title. So this is going to be the name of my document. And why is mapping important? Because if I write this manually, then every time the workflow runs, it is never going to take the new data into account. It is only going to take the manually written data. So it becomes static. So if you want your data, which is dynamic, to be inculcated, you want to map it. So I'm going to click on save and send test request. So now as I do that, here we can see that we have received the API response. This is the title, and this says that a document has been created. Now to check the same, I'm going to take you to my Google Docs, and here I'm going to quickly refresh the page. And here we can see that today a document has been created under the name The Importance of Freedom. So once this has been done, going back to Pabbly Connect, what is my next objective? So the content that we have just received through OpenAI, I have to append it in this document. So I'm going to add another action step, and this time again the application would be Google Doc. Let's click on this. The action event this time would be append a paragraph to a document. I'm going to click on connect. So here again, I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. Now, as I take you down, so here we have to fill in the document ID. First of all, I'm going to toggle this towards the right, and now I'm going to delete this. And from where can we receive this document ID? So we have received this document ID in step 3, where we had created a blank document. As I click on this and I take you down, so this is the document ID. So I'm going to click on this, and now the inserted text. For this, I'm going to go to step 2 and I go down, and this is the text. Once filled in, I'm going to click on save and send test request. So here we have received the API response. Again, we have received the document ID. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to my Google Doc, open this, the importance of freedom document to see, and yes, here is the story. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. So what is my next objective? That a link of this document should become a part of the Google Sheet that I have created here. But there is a thing that this particular document right now is only shared with me. It is a private document. So first I'll have to make it public, and to do so, I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here I'm going to add another action step. This time the application would be Google Drive. So this is it. So here my action would be share the file with anyone on the internet. Let's click on this and click on connect. As I do that, again here I have to connect Google Drive account. So I'm going to click on add new connection, sign in with Google. Again here I have to select the account and then provide the additional access. So I'm going to click on continue, and here you can see that the authorization has been successful. So once done, let's come down, and here we have to provide the file ID. So again, I'm going to toggle this towards the right to open the mapping button, and I'm going to delete this. Now for this file ID, I'm going to go to step 4, and this is the document ID. So I'm going to click on this and then click on save and send test request. So here you can see that we have received the API response. This is the name of our document, and then this is the web view link. Basically, this is the link that we are supposed to append in our Google Sheet. So now I'm going to go down, and this time my final action step would be again Google Sheets. Let's click on this. And the action event here would be, so I have got this particular sheet and I just want to update the cell value, right? So I'm going to go down, and here is update cell value. I'm going to click on this and connect. So I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. And now as I take you down, here we have to fill in this information. So this name of the story has already been selected. This is the sheet, and here we have to provide the range. So it is written here, enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated. And how do we have to write it? So we have to write the column name plus the row index. Now what is the name of this column? It is B. So I'm going to write B and then the row index. For this row index, I'm going to go to step 1. And then here you can see this is the row index, right? So once we have mapped this, now the value. So I want to map the link here. So I'm going to go to step 5, and here in step 5, let's go to resolution to web view link. So this is the link. Once received, I'm going to click on save and send test request. And here we have received the API response, which basically says that our sheet has been updated. Taking you back to my Google Sheet here, and here yes, we can see that the cell has been updated with the link. So this means that our entire integration process is a complete success. But we also need to check this in real. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide another story title. Let's say the name of the story is The Bond of Friendship. So as soon as I've entered, what should happen? First of all, with the help of OpenAI, the content should be created. Once it is generated, a document should be created, and here finally we can see that the link has also been created and is now a part of my Google Sheet. So I hope you have understood the entire process, and now to understand it in a better way, I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here let's understand the entire process. So first of all, my trigger application was Google Sheet. The event here was new or updated spreadsheet row. The action application was OpenAI. The event was to generate content. Then my next action application was Google Docs, where the event was to create a blank document. Then again it was Google Docs, where I had to append a paragraph to a document. Then my next action was Google Drive, where I had to make this particular file public. So I had done that, and finally my action application was Google Sheets, where I had to update the cell value. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if there is any particular integration that you wish to work on, then you can always write to us. Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.